We're back.
Yes, we are.
Back today with something that's poiple.
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 We love poiple.
It's poiple. Look. Poiple labels. Wiltshire Chilli Farm. Fearless flavour. Red Onion Relish. There it is, look.
So, what is the difference? So, we've had red onion chutney, we've had red onion marmalade, and we've had red onion relish, and we've had red onion jam. What's the difference?
Not a lot. So the jam and the marmalade are going to be made approximately the same way. Okay. One is more of a puree thing, so it's a jam, and if you leave it nice and chunky, it's a marmalade. Okay. Relish and chutneys, kind of the same thing. So
a little bit more hint towards the savoury, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So you're not looking for the same level of sweetness, but a relish or a chutney, you would cook slightly differently. You wouldn't put pectin in. You wouldn't. So just I mean, the two words really are interchangeable for both jam and marmalade and relish and chutney.
Yeah.
You know, there's very slight differences, but
I just thought I'd ask, just in case there were people out there that, like me,
that relish their chutneys.
Yes.
Or jam or marmalades.
Well done.
Yeah.
You're on form this weekend, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on something. Right. So, Wiltshire Chilli Farm. Back at the point. Red onion relish. Contains red onion, 64%. Brown sugar. Balsamic vinegar. Red wine vinegar. Chili. Bay. And olive oil.
Now, I'm very much liking the fact that there's balsamic included in that, because that's just going to add a little bit more depth, I think, isn't it? The little bit of sweetness and the caramelly kind of flavour from that.
So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking it's going to be quite sweet. I'm thinking red onion kind of chutneys and marmalades and jams and pickles and that kind of stuff. You tend to have more sweetness than you would do in another type of jam, right?
Well, it's
Pickle,
the natural caramel that kind of comes from red onions being cooked slowly, isn't it?
So you caramelise them and then put them in, and they tend to be lovely and sweet. They tend to be full of flavour, and they tend not to be quite as highly rated on the chili scale as this one. I think the Badger's one that we had. that
had chocolate hab in it though, didn't it?
Yeah.
Was it chocolate hab?
Yeah.
I think it was. That was surprising.
That was pokey.
That was good.
Very nice.
It could handle the heat, didn't it? It stood up well.
It was whether or not I could, really, So I remember trying this, and I'm trying to think where we were.
Now, we could have been at Time Burner.
No, it was
possibly Dorset. Just bearing in mind that Wiltshire
Winchester.
And Dorset. Oh, okay.
I think it was Winchester.
It was down that. It makes sense to be down that way, either Dorset or Winchester, doesn't it?
That
bear in mind,
they had a stall and lots of products, and I went and bought most of them.
Well, actually, we have Lee Alexander to thank, because he got us he was my Secret Santa last year, and got us some of our first Wiltshire Chilli Farm products.
Possibly, yeah, it could well be. It's your fault, Lee. I blame you entirely.
But we did make a beeline for the stall, and I think Ewan stocked them as well, didn't he?
At one point, yeah. I don't think he does anymore. I don't think we're...
Are we not destined to have any chutney?
Possibly not.
Give it a little shake. Turn it upside down. Foiled by a vacuum.
Must have been a hot day when they charred this one up.
You might be
You have a go.
you're good on the puns this week, but not so much on the. Don't leave it to the little lady. You loosened it for me, right?
Don't hit me. Right. She's scary. Have a sniff. You should have sniffed it first, really. You know, you opened it, so.
Ooh, that's a bit different, isn't it? It's got all of the red onion smell. There's something else there, though, and I'm...
Yeah,
maybe
brown
the bay.
sugar, balsamic vinegar, red wine vinegar, chilli, bay and olive oil.
I'm just wondering whether it's the bay. Ooh.
Could be bay leaves, yeah.
Pass that over to you.
Right, so, to look at, on the top, that actually looks like a ploughman's pickle.
Yeah, and it's almost that, do you know what?
It's
That's
that dark.
almost the smell that I'm getting is a ploughman's pickle smell now you say it.
It's that dark. Ooh.
Yeah, and we haven't had one that's been quite that dark, I think, since we had...
Balsamic, I would imagine, has brought the colour into that, but, yeah.
Araina's Welsh, traditional Welsh chutney, that was a nice, really dark one as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That's so glossy as well, isn't it?
It is. So, there we are, guys. That's what it looks like. You see what I mean now by looking like a kind of pickle, ploughman's pickle.
It's quite well. I'm just trying to sort of deal with the fact that there's quite a lot there. It's got some quite. This is all going to go horribly wrong in a second. It's quite chunky, but it's actually quite sticky, isn't it?
Do you want me to get you like a a backhoe or something to shovel it in, or Wow.
I can be very accommodating. It's fine. I can get that in.
I'm going to try this now. It smells interesting. It smells good.
It does smell really good. Now that's interesting. Really nice and oniony. Initially getting a really lovely sweetness, and then you get like the red wine vinegar and the balsamic kind of creeps in behind it. And then you start to get the chilli warmth that's kind of coming. I'm finding it coming from the throat, kind of up towards the front of my mouth. It's kind of sort of hovering around the like the back of my throat at the moment. But there's a really nice tartness to it. I'm getting the bay, which I was kind of expecting the onion to be quite powerful, but I can taste the bay, which is really nice. And this is probably going to sound awful, but I don't mean it in an awful way. It's almost like a sweet pickled onion kind of taste that I'm getting, but in a really nice kind of rich way. You're looking at me with puzzlement, but it's a really fresh onion flavour. You've got the caramelisation, but you've got a really nice sort of fresh, almost crunchy onion flavour.
Okay.
I like that.
Red onion, 64% of it is red onion. So guess what? You can taste red onion. Kill surprise. We've got the sweetness there. You can tell that the onion has provided some of that sweetness because it hits you at different points. The initial onion, little bit of sweetness to it, then you get the sweetness from the brown sugar, then the vinegars come in, and the balsamic is interesting in that it's a layer of flavour rather than just being kind of lost in the black background. It's a layer of flavour in there, and you can distinguish it between the red wine vinegar and the balsamic vinegar. You get the bay. I'm not tasting the olive oil, but I'm feeling it. But it's not oily.
No.
But you can tell it's got some oil in there, if that
And that
makes
could be
sense.
where some of the like the glossiness and that can come from, is
Yeah.
that, isn't it?
The chili itself, I mean, you're getting it back of the throat. I mean, I got it to start with under the front of my tongue and on the flat of my tongue. It's a nice burn. It's not scary.
No, it's not something that's going to make anybody
No.
not be able to eat it. That's not had chili of some description before. It's perfectly
So
good.
yeah,
But yeah,
I would put that with anything that you would normally put a pickle with. So cheese, cold meats, hot meats, sausage rolls.
yeah. But
pork
I would
pies.
put it into sausage rolls, as we have done with red onion chutneys before. I think that in a sausage roll, because it's got that nice balance of sort of sweet and
Yeah,
sort of a little bit of acidity from the vinegar. That with some really nice pork.
yeah, some sausage meat and you some puff pastry, and you just make your sausage rolls
Yeah.
up. I mean, if you're into making pastry goods, that in a pasty, you imagine like a cheese and red onion relish pasty. That'd be really interesting.
That'd be cracking in a gravy with some sausages, some
Yeah.
really nice peppery Cumberland sausages.
Couple of spoonfuls of that in there,
Yeah.
in the gravy, or even mixed into the mash.
Oh yeah.
Sausage and mash. Mix some of that in, a little bit of gravy over the top with some in as well. That could be a treat. So yeah, it's got the normal kind of uses that you would do there. You just get a little bit of chili burn with it as well, and a good flavoured relish. Heat for you?
Half.
Yeah, probably a half for me. They rate it on their scale as 3 out of 5 chilies. Okay.
And they do
We're
produce
not
some
normal.
hot stuff.
Yeah,
They do
we
produce
aren't
hot
normal.
stuff.
So, you know, at 3 out of 5, yeah, probably a little bit on the cautious side for people who are just picking the product up for the first time. Probably not for tiny children, but, you know, once they're kind of reaching,
8.
yeah, I was going to say that the latter part of their first decade, they'd probably be all right with that.
Fine with that.
So, justchilies.co.uk apparently is the website that came up. I don't know if there is anything on there. Can you have a quick look on the gel, see if you can find anything? But the link's in the description there for Wiltshire Chilli Farm. But got a fair number of products, and the ones that we've had have all been pretty good.
Been good. Yeah.
So yeah, well worth checking out, guys. Well worth checking out. But I think that's enough from us for now.
Indeed.
Thank you ever so much for watching.
Hope you enjoyed it,
Take care.
and we'll see you in the next one.